Welcome to this calculus lesson. Today, we are going to explore initial value problems. You will learn what they are, why they are important, and how to solve them step by step. This is a fundamental concept for understanding how differential equations work in the real world. First, let's quickly review. When you solve a differential equation by integrating, you don't just get one answer. You get what we call a general solution. Geometrically, this represents a whole family of curves, as shown in the graph on the right. All these curves satisfy the derivative relationship. This family of curves exists because of the arbitrary constant. See, this constant allows the solution to shift up or down vertically. Without additional information, any value of C is mathematically valid, so we cannot pinpoint a single specific outcome. This brings us to the initial value problem, often abbreviated as IVP. An initial value problem consists of two parts. First, the differential equation itself, which describes the rate of change. And second, an initial condition, which gives us a known value. Let's look closer at that condition. When we say y of x naught equals y naught, we are essentially providing a coordinate pair. For example, y of 1 equals 3. This translates to a specific point on the Cartesian plane, 1, 3. This point is crucial for solving the problem. Visually, here is what happens. We have our family of infinite ghost curves, but only one of those curves will pass exactly through our red initial condition point. Our goal is to find the unique equation for that specific bold curve. To solve these problems, we follow 4 simple steps. 1. Find the general solution by integrating. 2. Substitute the x and y values from your initial condition. 3. Use algebra to solve for the constant c. And 4. Rewrite the final equation with the specific value of c. Let's try an example. We need to solve y prime equals 2x, given that y of 1 equals 3. Step 1 is to integrate. The integral of 2x is x squared, plus our constant c. This is our general solution. Now for steps 2 and 3. We take our condition, x equals 1 and y equals 3. We plug these into our general equation. This gives us 3 equals 1 squared plus c. Simplifying, we get 3 equals 1 plus c. Subtracting 1 from both sides tells us that c is exactly equal to 2. Finally, step 4. We take that value of 2 and put it back into our equation. Our particular solution is y equals x squared plus 2. As you can see on the graph, this is the specific parabola that satisfies our differential equation and passes through our required point.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.